Hey, Teddy K here for the Best Buy blog, and in this video we look at the Google Pixel tablet. It's been several years since Google made a tablet, but at the end of the day, this one might be one of the best available.
So Google's back finally making a tablet, and the Pixel tablet is, well, not extraordinary or even spectacular in any particular way, but it does prove to be usable and reliable. And I think that's probably all you can expect from an Android tablet, at least of this size and of this stature. Now, what I mean by that is this isn't like, say, a Galaxy Tab that is trying to be a productivity device as much as it is a consumption device. Google doesn't really make that claim. It's more, to me, about convenience. So that would explain why this has a dock that comes with it. So the dock is an integral part here because it's really what adds to the convenience that I'm talking about. For example, obviously you mount the tablet like this, okay? It mounts, oh, there we go. It mounts using magnets with the connectors, and there you go. The hub doesn't have its own battery, so it needs to be plugged in at all times for it to work, but it is a speaker dock. So it has its own speaker, and when plugged in, and then you mount the tablet, all the audio just shifts from the tablet itself to the dock. But it also turns it into something of a smart device. So if you're familiar with Google's Nest Hub or Nest products, you kind of have an idea of what I'm talking about, where you had a stand with an integrated screen that could kind of work like a tablet, but also gave you access to your smart devices under the Google ecosystem. You can use it as a tablet, obviously, because it is a tablet, but when mounted, it plays that role too. My feeling, though, is that as convenient as that is, and it's cool, right? You want to control some smart home devices, you want sort of contextual information that you can look at that's sort of mounted on there. Maybe you want an alarm clock with a big, just sort of the time in big letters. All that's possible on here. Maybe you want even a screensaver. Again, totally possible. All that works perfectly fine. But for me, it was the convenience of just literally having it mounted on here so that I could watch video, I could play video games, I could read something if I wanted to. Just the fact that I had a dock to do that with that came with the tablet was already a plus. Nothing extraordinary there. You could do that with other tablets too. There are mounts that you can buy or stands you can buy that will basically do the same thing. But there was something different about using this one. And it had a lot to do, for me at least, with the fact that it was just convenient to use. So if I wanted to just take the tablet off, I could. If I wanted to put it back on, I could do that too. The battery life also was quite good for what how long I used it. Again, it depends what you're doing with it though. The screen is gorgeous to look at, so it's a very nice screen. Even though it may not be the best of all Android tablets, it's still excellent, and I enjoyed seeing that as well. It works fairly well, both in dark and light conditions, and it's fairly lightweight. So even though it's an 11-inch screen, you think, okay, well, that's kind of big for a tablet, but it's not. This doesn't feel cumbersome, really. And so if you have a tablet case that you want to take this in so that you can travel with it, it's not that hard to do. The design is fairly nice. You get speakers on the sides. The power button doubles as a fingerprint sensor. No headphone jack, though. This is one of the interesting things that I found. It's rare to see that, but yeah, there's no headphone jack here. So if you are going to listen to anything, you will need headphones or earbuds, especially if you're thinking of getting this for kids. Yeah, you're gonna have to outfit them with a wireless pair of earbuds or headphones as well. When mounted, the tablet charges from the dock as well, so you don't have to plug it in with a USB-C port if you have a dock. But when it's not, you could always charge this way too. There's no wireless charging on this tablet, so you won't be able to do that. But you probably won't need to because, again, if you just have a dock, you have the dock in the one place, you can do that. And it's, again, even this thing with a charger, not super cumbersome to travel with. So if you have room in your bag, you might as well just take it so that way you can set it up wherever you're going. For me personally, I like tablets primarily for consuming content, but I also don't mind working on some things. So when it comes to editing photos, I do wish that this came with a pen for that reason, like other Android tablets do, particularly from Samsung. This does not. You could get a third-party stylus that can do the job for you, so at least you have some leeway that way. But other than that, I mean, it's how you use it in a productive way really comes down to how you'd use any tablet in a productive way. There's no inherent advantage here as far as that goes, other than, again, belaboring the point of the convenience of just mounting it on a dock so that way you can use it for whatever it is you want to do. For example, if you wanted to use this as a second screen on with your computer, that's something that you would have to set up with a third-party app. It's not a feature that is inherent within Android or Google's own system as well. But it is possible for you to do that if you want to do that. If you wanted to use it in some sort of supporting role, whatever it is you might have in mind, for something creative or artistic, again, that really depends on what you can use from Android. From the tablet itself, you could use split screen to split two apps together. So in the screen, that goes for both landscape or portrait mode. Depending on the app you're using. So if you're a YouTube Premium subscriber, you can always have a floating YouTube window as well. Pluto TV does that also without any subscription, so you can always just kind of see and move around. You can have video playing while you're doing something else on the tablet. Naturally, because you have a stand, video calls come into play here too. Makes it a lot easier to do that. It's a fairly wide 84-degree angle from the front-facing camera, so that's more than enough for you to fit yourself, but also as another person too, if you wanted to have both of you talk to someone. There's also continuous framing, so if you're doing a video call and you're moving around a little bit, it'll keep you centered in the frame as much as possible, so that's pretty cool. When it comes to specs and storage, things like that, this is using the same Google Tensor G2 chipset that the Pixel 7 series phones are using, and you have either 128 gigs or 256 gigs as far as internal storage. If you want to use this with any of the streaming music services that you want to use, especially because of the speaker, which is okay, the speaker's all right, it's not amazing, but it's pretty good. You can play music, again, even by voice. So with Google Assistant, for example, you have Google Assistant works perfectly fine through here. Like I said before, just like a Nest Hub would. So any kind of content that you want to watch or listen to, you can ask for it by voice and it'll play on here. It's pretty cool, pretty seamless integration, and it works. I'm just going to summarize quickly. Should you get this as an Android tablet? My opinion, yes. It's pretty cool that you get the dock with it. It does make it a more expensive proposition because Google is bundling the two together. But what I like about this is that you have guaranteed updates. Android tablets have a bit of a murky history when it comes to software updates, but you know that you're going to get them here. We don't know, obviously, if Google will eventually abandon the Pixel tablet line, or if it plans to expand on it and make a bigger model or make a newer one as successor to this. It's hard to know with Google's hardware history, but I do think they're going to roll with this for a while. So I would expect that they're going to keep updating this and keep supporting it, possibly with new features that'll make it more efficient or add some things that it doesn't do right now. But as is, this is one of the best Android tablets you can get for sure, even without the dock. But with the dock, it makes it very, very convenient in ways that don't feel like that out of the box from other brands. I definitely would consider third-party accessories for this too, like a stylus pen if you're interested in that, and definitely a case. Definitely get a case for it. As well built as it is, it does need protection. And that's my review of the Google Pixel tablet for the Best Buy blog. I'm Teddy K. Thanks for watching.